After several months of planning, city commissioners have a decision on the future of Sarasota's Bayfront. Plus, a high-speed chase in Bradenton turns deadly. We'll have pictures moments after it happened. And a Charlotte County deputy resigns after his actions nearly 20 years ago. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a deadly accident in Bradenton that left roads blocked for several hours. It all happened around 8 o'clock tonight, about 10 blocks away from Lecom Park in Bradenton. ABC7 viewers sent us these videos and pictures of the accident. You can see the car wrapped around the tree there. According to the witness, the car crashed during a high-speed chase with law enforcement. We spoke to Manatee County Sheriff's deputies. As soon as it happened, they confirmed the driver was pronounced dead at the scene. The passenger was taken to the hospital where he later died. We don't know the identity of the victims yet, but we do know that they were both black males. Deputies say they're still investigating, and we will continue to keep you updated with more details as they come into our newsroom. After hours of deliberation, Sarasota's City Commission has officially approved the Bayfront's final master plan. Those in favor of the plan showed up in numbers to voice their support, but there were also a few who spoke out against the plan as it stands. ABC7's Taylor Torregano has more details from City Hall tonight with details about the 4-hour discussion.
I see it as an overall win-win for everybody.
I will endorse this process. It has been a fantastic process.
If we don't commit to building a new facility here, I believe that Sarasota will be classified as a second-class community.
Tonight, overwhelming support for the Bayfront Planning Organization's master plan. But though the majority spoke out in favor of these renderings, some also urged the commission to carefully reconsider the future of the former Gee Whiz Science Museum, a building they consider historical.
Please provide an amendment that yes, you support the Bay project, but we must study how to repurpose this building and how financially it will probably be no more expensive.
As is, Phase 1 of the master plan does not include this building. In response to concerns about this from the vice mayor, the Bayfront planning team pointed out that the building hasn't had a productive use since 1998.
It's a historical building of sorts, but it has a lot of issues and a lot of problems. And ultimately, it hasn't been included in the final product. And the final product is something that has been weighed in on by thousands, tens of thousands of residents.
One of the speakers was Dan Lobeck, known to be outspoken against development in Sarasota County. His biggest concern was how the city is going to pay for this.
It's a beautiful plan. Lots of trees, I love that. Not giving away lots of land to a developer, I love that. But how are we going to pay for it? You know, what's going to happen to our taxes? Those questions should be answered first.
In the end, the commission voted 3-2 to approve this master plan, with a happy crowd to back their decision. Now, the Bayfront Planning Organization did make it very clear they do expect to fundraise most of the money to fund this project through private donors. The city will have to front the rest of the money. Construction is expected to begin by the end of next year. I'm live at City Hall. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you. New at 11, a Charlotte County deputy facing the consequences of his actions nearly 20 years ago. An internal investigation found evidence that Deputy Ruben Gonzalez had a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old back in 2001. A friend of that alleged victim came forward this year. When confronted about it, Gonzalez said he and the victim have been in a relationship for 12 years now, are now married, and have children together. The state attorney's office determined the statute of limitations has expired, so Internal Affairs took up the case and found there was enough evidence to cite Gonzalez. He has since turned in his resignation. In Sarasota, detectives have arrested a man for allegedly having a large amount of child pornography on his iPad. Reagan Stunkel is facing 40 counts of sexual performance by a child. He's being held without bond and will be arraigned in 5 weeks. Police say more charges are likely. 3 convicted felons are facing new drug charges. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies found they were trafficking fentanyl and heroin. It only took detectives 3 days to track down Joseph Wright and to find several $100s worth of drugs in a house in North Sarasota. 2 others were also arrested during this undercover operation. Wright and Tiffany Johnson are still in jail, facing several trafficking and possession charges. Reginald McKenzie posted bail yesterday. A child playing with candles caused a house fire in Charlotte County. Firefighters responded to the fire in Port Charlotte late last night. The 11-year-old child and 2 parents did make it out safely. However, 2 of the family's cats died. Firefighters say the child was playing with a candle in her closet when it was knocked over. She then tried to put it out by placing a towel over the flames, but then it spread. The Red Cross now helping that family. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast and what we can expect for tomorrow morning. Bob?
Well, we had some big storms this afternoon. In fact, some of that produced some rough weather in northwest Bradenton, out on Anna Maria Island as well. All that activity now off into the Gulf. It continues to move off to the west, so no concerns, I think, overnight. We'll see generally fair skies. There's a slight chance for a rogue shower out there in the Gulf of Mexico to develop. This particular model indicating that maybe around 3 o'clock there could be some activity out there in the Gulf of Mexico, but for drop-off tomorrow for school, not a problem. Your commute should not be a problem either. Then the afternoon, things get a little dicey. In the afternoon, showers and storms will start to pop up, and they'll be a little bit more intense than we've seen. Like today, some of those storms will be heavy at times, and that's a result of that east wind. We have an upper level low, and that's going to enhance the instability in the atmosphere. On top of that, we have plenty of moisture in play. All that dry air that was around yesterday has slipped off into the Gulf, and you can see that rotation. It's an upper level feature. It's nothing to worry about as far as any tropical development is concerned, but it is moving off to the west. Speaking of tropical development, now this one here is going to be interesting over the next week or so. It looks like top winds now below hurricane status, so it's still being sheared apart. It's moving to the west-northwest at 7. And the forecast path and track continue on this westerly course, starting to gain strength again by late Saturday and into Sunday. It becomes a major hurricane once again as early as Monday with 120-mile-an-hour winds, 125 by Tuesday. And still on that westerly course. The cone hasn't changed much, so we'll talk more about this coming up in just a few minutes. And another system, Helene, developing, as well as Isaac. All that in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Bob. In consumer news tonight, more than $17 million in cash bonuses will be distributed to Walmart associates across Florida. It's just part of the $200 million in bonuses that will be given to Walmart workers across the country. Associates earn quarterly bonuses as part of an overall incentive plan to reward workers whose stores achieve sales and customer service goals. Now, these bonuses come on the heels of the best performances for Walmart in the U.S. in more than 10 years. No more waiting at the Sarasota Airport, wishing that hotel shuttle would arrive. The Hampton Inn & Suites at Sarasota Airport is replacing its airport shuttle service with Uber Central to offer guests free transportation to and from the airport. Instead of waiting for a hotel shuttle, guests will be assigned a personal Uber driver to take them directly to and from the hotel. The hotel says providing a personal Uber ride to each guest is more efficient than the ongoing cost of maintaining a hotel-operated shuttle and the staff members to drive it. Well, the future has arrived for a Charlotte County neighborhood. Babcock Ranch unveiled plans for self-driving school buses. The buses are the first of their kind and are supposed to start shuttle transportation later this fall. Over 300 students are expected to use those new buses. For now, the buses will use a designated pickup and drop-off area, but designers plan to eventually offer door-to-door service on demand through a mobile app. Manatee County School District employees are having problems with their paychecks. Many teachers are confused on the new pay stub terminology and in some cases only receiving a fraction of what they're owed. The district says it's the new payroll software that was just implemented a few months ago, and that's what's causing these widespread problems. School Superintendent Cynthia Saunders says the district has sent messages to staff urging employees to report any issues as well as asking for patience.
It's a painful process for all of us, and we're aware and we're working on it, and it's our job to make sure that things are running smoothly so that our employees are able to do the job that they're hired to do and not have to worry about their paycheck.
The superintendent says most of these shortcomings and issues that they've been experiencing should be corrected within the next few months. Selby Gardens will be getting a grant to help digitize one of its most significant plant collections. The National Science Foundation offering to help fund a one-year temporary position plus imaging equipment and travel money to attend 2 conferences. The garden's epiphytic plant collection will help future scientific research by making their information easily available to the global scientific community. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, 4 people are dead because of a mass shooting in Cincinnati today. Police finally releasing the shooter's identity tonight.
It's a very rare wish that we get where a child wants to give back and give to others.
And we'll show you how this 8-year-old girl is using her Make-A-Wish to make others happy.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Bob, some pretty interesting weather that you've been monitoring over in the Weather Center. Some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, 3 storms, Gordon, really 4 storms. And then on top of that, we had some rough weather this afternoon, blow up through northwest Bradenton. Some folks saying it was a tornado. Indications are it may have been a water spout. Here's a look at what's going on. A roll cloud from a viewer photo sent. I didn't get any photos of that water spout or any kind of damage over there in northwest Bradenton, but nonetheless, a lot of people talking about it on social media. Appreciate that shot. That's disjointed from the main rain storm, and that's called a roll cloud. If it's attached, it's a shelf cloud. Well, Gordon's still out there spinning around over Arkansas now. We've had our fair share of heavy rain this afternoon. That's all over. that continues to push off toward the west. And right now, no rain around. Things are dry. Things are quiet and should stay that way. Rogue shower, as I mentioned, not out of the question out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a look at what was left of that, again, 84-mile-an-hour. This is gate-to-gate current shear. This actually originated from Manatee River, went across northwest Bradenton, near DeSoto, and then eventually out into Holmes Beach. A lot of reports saying it was very windy, very stormy there. And there has been, as I said, there it is. You can kind of see it whipping through the river there, and then eventually on through Holmes Beach and then out into the Gulf of Mexico. This is gate-to-gate shear, indicating you could have had winds up to 50, 60 miles an hour there, and that may have been some rotation there with a water spout. Rainfall estimates, nothing over the past 6 hours, but some areas near, again, right down near Warm Mineral Springs had over 1.5 inches, 2 inches to the east of Venice, but nothing going on now, as I said, and things stay quiet, but not quiet out in the Atlantic. It's supposed to be relatively quiet September, according to the shear models that were reporting heavy shear in the Caribbean. Usually means low activity in the Atlantic through the month of September. Not the case. Florence, although it is getting sheared now, just think about it. Yesterday, it was at 130-mile-an-hour wind storm. Now it's down to 70. And it's expected to gain strength, though. Once it moves away from that shear, it'll get back to hurricane status, it looks like, as early as Saturday. And then by Tuesday, 125-mile-an-hour winds. This is one to watch along the East Coast. I think we're not in any danger of getting this here, but it is going to cause some heavy surf along the East Coast, and there's a chance that it could even make landfall. This is the European forecast model, or the GFS, showing the system basically staying offshore. Now, the GFS is the one that's staying offshore, kind of spins around out there, and it's a long way off, so that's 6-7 days away. That could do anything at this point as far as making landfall or staying offshore. The European forecast model takes it into the Carolina coast and then up toward New Jersey in about 6 days from now, so bears watching. Okay, now we have another one out here in the Atlantic. Now that's soon to be, it looks like Isaac. This is soon to be Helene. This has a 90% chance developing. This one we'll have to watch out here. Right now it's still a long way off, obviously, but forecast models keep that on a more westerly course. There are a couple that take it into the Atlantic, but more so, all of them take it into the Caribbean in about 5 days from now. Once it gets in the Caribbean, have to keep a very close watch on it. Those are the ones that typically have a chance to get Florida. There's the European model showing the storm moving on into the Caribbean and then eventually continuing on that westerly course. A high pressure to the north of it, and that's what will direct it. Hopefully it stays strong enough to keep it away from Florida as we move into next week, although the last few frames there showed it kind of weakening as it made its way to the west. So currently it's 76. No problem with the heat index. It's nice out there. North winds are at 5. The high today was pretty close to average. So was the low. It was right at it, 75. Temperatures into the mid-70s to upper 70s across the region. 78 in Northport, 78 in Inglewood, 79 in Cortez. Well, this upper level low will bring us a good chance for showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. And again on Saturday, although it will weaken and push away on Sunday, a little drier then, and some storms taking place in the central U.S. now. The remnants of Gordon still producing some heavy rainfall into Arkansas. Winds out of the east turning to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet. There'll be a light chop out there in the bays and inland waters. So here's the forecast. Good chance for maybe some disruptive weather to start the football games tomorrow night. Showers and storms developing, and then a 60% chance on Saturday, less than Sunday and Monday as dry air moves in and winds switch around more to the southwest, and better chances on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You know, finally I had a chance to get out on the beaches today. I went to Longboat Key, and boy, it was nice out there. The watercolor, I walked about a half mile, a little bit brown, but not bad. No dead fish at all on my walk. Steve Herrick, the fishing coach out there on one of the groins, and I got a chance to throw the net. There was bait fish all over the place. Good sign as well. I caught a nice speckled sea trout there. That was a keeper, by the way. I wasn't keeping it, but I let it go. And we saw dolphins, a pod of dolphins swimming on by. Steve was also catching quite a few fish. This one, a Spanish mackerel, pretty good sized Spanish mac as well. Just give you a little indication that things were good out there. No effects of red tide at all when I was out there. Also, I caught a nice big Spanish mac, and I'll tell you what, watching those dolphins go by and seeing the waves with no fish, dead fish, was really a pleasant experience, and he is very positive about what's going on.
Well, today we did have some activity. All I can say is that there's no ill effects from red tide at all. There's a lot of bait fish in the water. The water is a little brown, I'll give you that. but we did have some activity, so caught some Spanish mackerel, and Bob hooked a nice little sea trout. He was happy about that. I'm not going to downplay it as a very severe red tide, but I think with the easterly winds we've been having, like it's been discussed on the news, I think we're getting out of the woods slowly but surely.
And he would know, he's out there all the time checking out the conditions, and he caught this snook on Labor Day. And we saw a snook go by. It must have been 25 to 30 pounds swimming around, and it was just pleasant to see all those bait fish hanging out, and they're back. So that's good news. Captain Brian Marcy also says he was out there on that appears to be a paddle board with his friend, and they were catching tarpon. And a lot of tarpon they caught as well. And I'm getting a lot of social media posts saying the beaches are so much better now on Braden Beach. Wanted to show you that again, that last graphic if we could. That is still the ban though. So we threw all of our fish back. No sense in keeping fish right now. Executive order, redfish and snook are banned for the foreseeable future. Expected to end late this month.
All right, such good news. I'm so glad you guys were able to get out there and such great news.
It's just so nice to be back on the beach and just relaxing, not smelling any dead fish, not looking at any dead fish flying around, I mean, you know, floating around. So it was really quite nice.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much, Bob. Well, new details tonight of the gunman behind a mass shooting at a downtown Cincinnati bank this morning. Police say 29-year-old Omar Enrique Santa Perez started shooting at a loading dock. The gunman continuing to fire shots while entering that building's lobby. The mayor is crediting the quick action of first responders, saying they were able to kill the gunman and stop the threat quickly.
At this point, the shooter is deceased. We also have 5 victims. Additional victims that sustained injuries. Of those 5, we have received word that 3 of those 5 are deceased as well.
4 people are dead, including the gunman. The motive for that shooting is still unclear. Here in Florida, the results of the August 28th primary elections were certified this morning at the state capitol. Following the meeting of the Florida Elections Canvassing Commission, Secretary of State Ken Detzner told reporters he is confident cybersecurity in the state's voting system is where it needs to be ahead of the November general election. Earlier this summer, nearly $20 million of federal money was sent to the state to help with election security. Much of it was passed along to county election supervisors for software security upgrades and improving the safety of buildings in which election equipment is stored or used.
We take election security very seriously at the Department of State, and so do the supervisors. We have invested millions of dollars and many hours of time in consultation with the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the Agency for State Technology, FDLE, to make sure that our elections are safe and secure. We had a very good election. We had no problems with cybersecurity, and I expect that to be the same in November.
Cybersecurity has gained increased focus this year following revelations the state's voting systems were targeted by Russian hackers in 2016. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
New tonight, Jim Carrey's here.
That's a bombshell.
And he's up to his old tricks.
What have we done, Jimmy?
Plus, the exuberant Andy Cohen.
He's so loud.
And music from Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Emmy-nominated Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Now, sports.
A follow-up now on the fate of a Braden River High School senior fighting to play football after alleged district violations. Representatives of Braden River High appearing in front of the Florida High School Athletic Association Appeals Board in Manatee County to try to get senior Knowledge McDaniel back on the team. The board ruled 3-1 to allow him to participate in only non-district games. There are only 3 of those remaining, but he will not be allowed to play in postseason or District 11 games.
Your poverty does not trump the poverty of other people at all. It just doesn't. And it doesn't even come close to the poverty that I had as a child. Not even close. Not even close. But we all have to play by a set of rules. Made by the board of directors.
The whole issue stems from McDaniels and his mother being evicted from their home. She then asked one of her son's friend's parents to take him in, so they did. But because those parents are boosters, that breaks FHSAA rules, and he was removed from the team. Now today's ruling can be appealed. There's no word yet if that will happen. He will be eligible to play tomorrow night against Manatee High if the coaches decide to play him. You can watch the highlights of that game on ABC7's Football Friday nights at 11:15. Well, Serena Williams will play for her record-tying 24th Grand Slam singles title after advancing to the U.S. Open's final with a 6-3, 6-0 victory over Anastasia Savastova. Williams, seeded 17th, will play 14th seeded Madison Keys or number 20 Naomi Osaka on Saturday. A year after missing the tournament and giving birth to her daughter during it, Williams reached the finals in Flushing Meadows for the first time since 2014, when she won the last of her 6 U.S. Open titles. That's a look at sports tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried, Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Keep your head held high. You are never alone. And I'm sending love to you always.
Well, that's the message 8-year-old Zelaya Guevara wants to send to the people in Puerto Rico who are still suffering from the aftermath of Hurricane Maria a year later. Zelaya is in remission from a rare form of leukemia, and she's selflessly using her wish to help the people there by sending food, water, and toys to Puerto Rico. The plan is to deliver those supplies on the 1-year anniversary of Maria, which is coming up pretty soon here, Bob.
How sweet is that?
I
You know,
know.
that's just amazing right there. You know, she's caring about other people, you know, after going through that. Pretty amazing. Yeah, it chokes you up. Maria, you know, obviously coming up after Irma went through, and Irma right now is a Category 5 hurricane at this point. We're not dealing with anything like that, but we'll see some bigger storms tomorrow afternoon and evening.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. And thanks for joining us here tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a good one.